Manidweep, abode of the Devi. On the request of Raja Janmejay, Vyasji describes the grandeur of Manidweep. Vyasji says, Rajan, now I will give you the precious description of Manidweep. This is the sacred and most divine abode of the creatrix of the universe, Adishakti Bhagavati Bhuvaneshwari. Vyasji says, Rajan, we have heard of Sarvalok, which exists beyond Brahmalok. That is verily Manidweep, the sacred abode of Bhagavati Jagadamba. Of all the lokas, it is the most supreme and is therefore known as Sarvalok, that is all-pervading. Nowhere in the creation or beyond does there exist a better place. For the whole creation, this is the sole, protective umbrella, Chhatra Swarup. No worldly activities or entrapments can affect or influence it. Rajan, the whole Brahmand, that is created universe, exists within its shade. Rajan, this Manidweep is surrounded on all sides by a vast and bottomless ocean of nectar. Gentle breezes from Pavan, that is wind god, ripple the ocean, and gem-like gleaming fish and shells of all shapes and sizes live in this ocean. Big waves break on the shores in colorful sprays. Graceful boats, flying colorful flags, glide over this Sudhasagar, that is ambrosial water. The ocean is bordered with ornamental trees bearing precious gems. Rising to the skies are lofty walls made of gleaming metal. They are 7 yojans long. Here reside the guardians, bearing all variety of weapons, accomplished in the art of defense and war, and learned in all the forms of knowledge and spirituality. Here the atmosphere of peace and joy prevails. This Parkota, that is quadrangle, has 4 doors. Inside this fort reside the Ganas who have unbounded loyalty and reverence for the Devi. When the gods come for darshan of Bhagavati Jagadamba, their Ganas are housed in this place. Their Vahanas and vehicles are kept there, and there is an air of movement and sound always in this place. It is dotted with lakes and streams of sweet, clear water and surrounded by beautiful gardens of jewel-laden trees. Beyond this is a bronze Parkota, that is rampart, which is huge. Its shikhar, that is peak, touches the sky. It is 100 times more brilliant than the glow of the previous tower. There is no tree or plant in existence that does not grow in this garden. Every tree is laden with fragrant flowers and delicious fruits. Not a single tree is bare. The trees drip nectar in the salubrious surroundings of cuckoo songs and the droning of bumblebees. Birds of all seasons nest in these trees. The trees are nourished by life-giving rivers and are always swaying under the weight of twittering birds like doves, parakeets, and swans. After this bronze quadrangle is the quadrangle with walls made of copper. They are 100 yojans high. In the center of this quadrangle stands the beautiful Vatika, that is tree Kalpavriksha. Rajan, the flowers of this tree shine like gold, and so also the leaves. The fruits and seeds are like gemstones. The fragrance is wafted on the breeze for a distance of 10 yojans in all directions. It is always spring in these gardens. Under a canopy of flowers sits Vasant Ritu, that is god of spring, and his two consorts Madhushri and Madhavshri. Their faces are as beautiful as Kamadev's, and they play with a ball made of flowers. Streams of honey pour out of the tree. The perfume-laden breeze spreads for 10 yojans, and the Cupid-like Gandharvas, accompanied by their wives, also enjoy the garden. After this is the glass Parkota, that is rampart. It is 7 yojans tall. In the center of this Parkota is a tree called Santan. The fragrance of its flowers spread for 10 yojans. It is always in full bloom with golden flowers, and its fruits are as sweet as honey. Rajan, the ruler of this tree is Grishma Ritu, that is god of summer, and his two consorts Shukra Shri and Shuchi Shri. All the Siddhas and Devatas rest under the shade of this tree. Rajan, beyond this is the quadrangle made of shining brass. In the middle is the tree called Malaigiri Vrikshvatika. Varsha Ritu, that is rain god, who reigns over the clouds, presides over this garden. The color of his eyes is Pingal Varan, that is tawny, and he is covered with a garment of clouds. Lightning and thunder are his voice, and the rainbow is his weapon. It is his nature to rain thousands of droplets of life-giving water. Varsha Ritu has 12 Shaktis called Nabhashri, Nabhasya Shri, Swarasya, Rasyamalini, Ambadula, Niratni, Abhramanti, Meghayantika, Varshayanti, Chibunika, Varidhara, and Sammata. This place is always full of new leaves and delicate creepers and fast-flowing rivers and streams. This place is occupied by punyatmas who are constantly engaged in making vapi, khoop and tadag, that is water pots and wells, as offerings to the Devi. The next Parkota is made of Panchaloha, that is 5 metals. It is 7 yojans long. In the middle of this stands the sacred Mandar tree. The holy Sharad Ritu, that is god of autumn, presides over this forest with his 2 deers, Ishu Lakshmi and Urja Lakshmi. This is the abode of many Siddha Purush with their wives. The 7th Parkota is made of silver and is 7 yojans long. This huge turret adds to the beauty of the place. In the middle is a garden of the most divine and fragrant Parijat. These flowers that are used for Devi Yagya spread their perfume for a distance of 10 yojans. Hemant Ritu, that is god of winter, is the presiding deity. It is his nature to give happiness and love. His 2 Shaktis are Sahashri and Sahasya Shri. After the silver comes the 8th Parkota made of shimmering gold. It is called Suvarnashal. It is 7 yojans long. In the center is a beautiful Vatika called Kadam. It is covered with fragrant flowers and tender new leaves. The presiding Devata is Shishir Ritu, that is cold season, and his consorts are Tapashri and Tapasya Shri. This abode is granted to those Siddha Purushas who have pleased the Devi with their generosity and virtuous acts. Beyond this Hiranyamay Prakar, that is golden quadrangle, there is a 7 yojan long Prakar which has the kumkum color of the morning sun because it is made of Pushparaj mani, that is topaz. Everything from earth to garden to forest appears like Pushparaj, that is topaz. The gemstone of which the prakar is made has also been used to form the trees, earth, water, canopy, pillars, lakes and lotuses. Not only that, but even inside, everything is made of Pushparaj mani, that is topaz. Rajan, this is the most inadequate description. Each one is better in excellence and beauty than the one before. Indra and all the Dikpals, that is, guardian deities of the different quarters, stand in attention holding their weapons in their hands. On the eastern side of this Manidweep, that is, island of emeralds and rubies, lies Amaravati Puri. It is the residence of Lord Indra and 100 times more beautiful. Here presides Indra, mounted on Airavat, that is Indra's chief elephant which came out of the churning of the ocean, holding the thunderbolt in his hand and surrounded by the gods. Beside him is his consort Devi Shachi, decked with ornaments and surrounded by her attendants. Rajan, in the Agni cone, that is southeastern quarter of Manidweep, like the glowing Agni is Vahni Puri. Agni Dev, that is god of fire, presides here with his Shaktis, Swaha and Swada. On the south side of Manidweep lies Yamraj Puri. Together with Chitragupt and other ministers, and surrounded by his attendants, is seated Yamraj, god of death, holding a rod in his hand. This is the residence of Suryanandan, that is, son of the sun god Yamraj. Nairitya Cone, southwestern quarter, is known as Rakshas Puri, that is, abode of the demons. Holding the khadga in his hand, Nirtriti resides here with his Shaktis and his demons. On the west side is the residence of Varuna, that is god of the waters, who holds a pash, that is noose. Mahan Matsya, that is, the great fish, is his vehicle. He presides with his Shakti, Varunani and his Ganas. In the northwest side of Manidweep is Vayulok, residence of Vayu, wind god. Excelling in pranayam and surrounded by Siddhi Yogis, Vayu is sitting on a deer and holds a pendant in his hand and is always surrounded by Marudgans. Rajan, in the north of Manidweep is the Loka of Yakshas, that is, abode of demigods in attendance on Kuber. Their master, Kuber, that is, treasurer of the gods, presides with Riddhi and Vriddhi. He is surrounded by an army of Yakshas, including Manibhadra, Purnabhadra, Maniman, Manikandan, Manibhushan, Manimali, and Manidhanurdhan. In the Ishan cone, that is northeast quarter of Manidweep, stands Rudralok, where the bejeweled Rudra, that is 11 inferior manifestations of Shiva, presides. His face expresses anger and his glittering eyes are red. He has a tarkas, that is quiver, tied to his back and a tightly strung bow in his hand. In his other hand, he holds the trident. Surrounding him are countless, identical Rudras, some with 10 hands, some with 100 hands, and others with 1,000 hands. Some Rudras have 10 legs, 10 necks, and some have 3 eyes. Surrounded by all these Rudras stands the majestic Bhagwan Shankar. Also residing here are crores of Rudranis, Bhadrakali, and other Matrika Gans. Also in attendance are Damri, Veerabhadra, and other Ganas. He wears a garland of skulls and on his hand a snake bracelet, on his shoulder a snake as a sacred thread, that is Sarpamai Yagyopavit. On his upper body tiger skin and his lower body draped in elephant hide. His entire body is smeared with ash from the pyres. Pramat and other Ganas are never far from him. The deafening sound of his damru radiates in all directions. He is always surrounded. Being the ruler of the Ishan direction, he is also known as Ishan. Vyasji says, Rajan, beyond this is the Parkota, red like kumkum, made of Padmaragmani, that is ruby. In the middle is a structure made of the same gem, which is 10 yojans long and is surmounted by a beautiful dome. Hundreds of canopies are supported by columns made of Padmaragmani gems. Under these canopies stand 64 kalas, that is, divisions presided over by minor deities, richly jewelled and ornamented and bearing all kinds of weapons. Each kala is the ruler of her own domain. These kalas preside there, complete with their attendants and vahanas, that is, conveyance. Janmejay, I will tell you the names of these kalas. Pingalakshi, Vishadakshi, Samriddhi, Vriddhi, Shraddha, Swaha, Swadha, Abhikya, Maya, Sanghya, Vasundhara, Trilokadhari, Savitri, Gayatri, Trideshwari, Surupa, Bahurupa, Skandamata, Achyutapriya, Vimala, Amala, Aruni, Aroni, Prakriti, Vikriti, Shrishti, Stithi, Sanhriti, Mata, Sandhya, Param Sadvihansi, Mandika, Vajrika, Devamata, Bhagavati, Devaki, Kamalasana, Trimukhi, Saptamukhi, Surasur Vimardini, Lamposhti, Urdhvakeshi, Bahushirsha, Vrikodari, Ratreka, Seshireka, Gaganvega, Pavanvega, Madanatura, Ananga, Ananga Mathana, Snanga Mekhala, Ananga Kusuma, Vishwarupa, Suratika, Shayankari, Shakti, Akshobhya, Satyavadini, Bahurupa, Shrichivrata, Udara, and Vageshi. These are known as the 64 Kalas. They all have darting tongues, that is, Prajwalit Jivha, and fire flares from their mouths. When they gnash their teeth in anger, the sound is deafening. Each Kala possesses 100 Akshovini Sena who can devour thousands of Brahmans. I cannot fully describe their valor and prowess. This Parkota is full of their weapons and countless chariots, horses, elephants, and infantry. Rajan, further away is a majestic Prahar made entirely of Gomed Ratna, that is red onyx. The rare portion is of the same gourmet gemstone as also the birds, trees, columns, wells and lakes. Everything is red like the color of kumkum. 32 great Shaktis reside here. They are decked with jewels made of the same gems and hold weapons in their hands. Their faces are frightening like those of female demons. Their slogan is, cut them, crush them, riddle them with holes and burn them to ashes. Every one of them is sufficient to destroy 1,00,000 Brahmans, universes. All the weapons and equipment of war of Bhagavati Jagadamba are kept in this prahar. This is the Antarang Sena, that is personal army of Bhagavati. Now I will enumerate the negativity destroying names. Vidya, Hreem, Pushti, Pragya, Sinivali, Kuhu, Rudra, Virya, Prabha, Ananda, Pashini, Riddhida, Kalaratri, Maharatri, Bhadrakali, Kapardini, Vikriti, Dandini, Mundani, Sendukhand, Shikhandini, Nishumbha Mathini, Mahishasura Mardini, Indrani, Rudrani, Shankarardha Sharirini, Nari, Narayani, Trishulini, Palini, Ambika and Hladini. These are 32 important names of the Shakti. If these Devis get angry, there will be instantaneous destruction of the creation. They can never ever be defeated. The next prakar is made of diamond. The dome and doors are made of diamond and fastened with bolt and chains. All the structures, the roads, crossroads, gardens, trees, birds are made of dazzling, brilliant diamonds. Shri Bhagavati Bhuvaneshwari's maids reside here together with thousands of attendants. The maids are always engaged in works of art, decorating the lotus feet and adorning the Devi with ornaments. Others are experts in flower decoration or entertainments. The Shaktis are known as the Dutis of the Devi. These are their names: Anangarupa, Anangamadana, Sundari, Madanatura, Bhuvanavega, Bhuvanpalika, Sarvashishira, Anangavedana and Anangamekhala. Their persons shine with the brilliance of lightning. They wear waist ornaments made of many chains and anklets with tingling bells. All their vahanas are also housed in this prakar. After this is the prakar made of Vaidurya Mani, that is lapis lazuli. It is 10 yojans long and has domes and many doors. Here also, every building, street, crossroad, rajmarg, tank, well, and banks of the rivers are all made of Vaidurya Mani gemstones. In various places, groups of Brahmi and other Devis can be seen surrounded by their ganas. Brahmi, Maheshwari, Kaumari, Vaishnavi, Varahi, Indrani and Chamunda are known as Sapta Matrika, that is 7 goddesses. The 8th Matrika's name is Mahalakshmi. They are the cause of benevolence and auspiciousness in the world and are in the same form as Brahma, Rudra and other gods. Rajan, at all 4 Mahadwars, that is main entrances, are standing in readiness, decorated and caparisoned vahanas and chariots flying colorful pennants and flags. Crores of vehicles bearing different crests and colors also stand in readiness. The array is beautiful and awesome. Beyond the Vaiduryamani Prakar is the Prakar made of Indraneelamani gemstone, that is sapphire. It is 10 yojans tall and is exquisite. Everything is made of Indraneelamani, that is sapphire gemstone. It is said that in the middle is a lotus which has a diameter of many yojans. It is made of Indraneelamani, and the dazzling lotus looks like a 16-pointed Sudarshan chakra. It bears the thrones of the 16 Shaktis. I will tell you their names: Karali, Vikarali, Uma, Saraswati, Shri, Durga, Usha, Lakshmi, Shruti, Smriti, Dhriti, Shraddha, Medha, Mati, Kanti and Arya. They are blue in color like rain-filled clouds. They bear sword and shield in their hands. They are the warriors of the goddess Shri Devi. Drawing their energy from Bhagavati Jagadamba, they complete their work of getting rid of Brahman with negative forces, and even the 1,000-headed Sheshnag finds himself inadequate to praise their strength and valor. Rajan, after this is a vast mukta, that is pearl prakar, which is 10 yojans tall. In the middle is an 8-petal lotus. Studded with pearls and other precious stones, this lotus is full of kesar, that is, stamens of the saffron flower. On the 8 petals are seated goddesses resembling Bhagavati Bhuvaneshwari holding weapons in their hands. They are constantly engaged in conveying news of the world, and these 8 Devis are called informers of the Bhagavati. They are conscious of every requirement of Bhagavati Jagadamba, and they are aware of all the happenings in the cosmos. Their main function is to gather intelligence of all actions of all living beings in the created universe. Rajendra, their names are like this: Ananga Kusuma, Ananga Kusumatura, Ananga Madana, Ananga Madanatura, Bhuvan Pala, Gaganavega, Shashireka and Gaganrekha. They are of red color and bear in their hands noose, ankush, that is prod with hook, and varat and abhay mudras, which are postures of granting boons and protection. Next to this is a prakar made of the Mahamarkat money, that is emerald. It is 10 yojans wide and is the most important and impressive of all. It contains auspicious items and delicious eatables. Inside this lies the immense Shri Chakra, that is 6-cornered mystical diagram of Bhagavati Bhuvaneshwari. I will tell you the names of the deities seated in the 6 corners of this star. In Purvakon, that is eastern corner, is seated Chaturmukh, that is 4-faced Brahma, and his Shakti Bhagavati Gayatri. He is holding Kamandal, that is pot, Akshay Sutra, that is rosary, Abhay Mudra Dand, that is staff of protection and a royal weapon. The Vedas and Shastras are present in divine forms. The Smritis and Puran have also assumed divine forms and are present. In Nairitya Kon, that is southwestern corner, is situated Bhagavati Savitri holding conch, chakra, mace and lotus. Bhagwan Vishnu is also in similar form. Matsya, that is fish, Kurma, that is tortoise, and other incarnations of Lord Vishnu have also been provided seeds. In Vayavya Kon, that is northwestern corner, presides the great Rudra bearing in his hand axe, rosary, and postures of granting protection and boons. In this area is also seated Bhagavati Saraswati in the same form. Rajan, Dakshinamurti, and all other Rudras which are his forms are present, and Gauri and all other forms of Parvati are also present here. 64 kinds of prophets and prophecies, that is Agam and Agam Shastras, have assumed form and are there present. In Agni Kon, that is southeastern quarter, is seated Kuber, god of wealth, holding in his hands the jewelled kalash and ornaments. He is accompanied by many kinds of riches and wealth and Mahalakshmis. Full of virtues and grace, Kuber is the keeper of the wealth and possessions of Bhagavati Jagadamba. In the Mahan Kon, which belongs to Varun, god of oceans, sits Kamadev with his Shakti Rati. He holds in his hands noose, gourd, bow and arrows. All the adornments and ornaments have taken form and are present. In Ishan Kon, that is northeastern corner, sits Vignanasha, remover of obstacles, Shri Ganesha, with Devi Pushtihi. He is holding noose and gourd. All the dignified qualities of Ganesha have assumed majestic and glorious forms and are present. Rajan, the aggregate of all forms of Brahma, etc., from all the created Brahmans, manifest as Brahma and are always in attendance on Bhagavati Jagadishwari. Further on is a 100 yojan wide Pravalka, that is rampart, which is as red as Kumkum. Within this Prakar reside the Panchabhutas, that is 5 elements with their Shaktis, Hridleka, Gagana, Rakta, Karalika and Mahochushma. They bear the Pash, Ankush and Abhay Mudras. Rajan, beyond this is a vast Prakar made of Navaratna, that is 9 gems. Skilled in the science of the future and having the name Amraya, gods and bhavans exist there. Rajan, all the forms of Shri Devi exist here. All the forms of Mahavidya also reside here. The governing deities of the 7 crore Mahamantras also have a place here. After this is a vast temple formed of Chintamani, which is a fabulous gem supposed to yield anything desired. It has thousands of pillars covered with brilliant gemstones which dazzle the eyes. Chapter 12, Description of Manidweep continues. Vyasji says, Rajan, right in the center of all this stands the Bhavan of Bhagavati Jagadamba. It has 4 mandaps, that is domes and pavilions. Every mandap is supported by 1,000 pillars. The first is the Shringar Mandap, the second Mukti Mandap, the third Jnana Mandap, and the fourth Ekant Mandap. These mandaps shine with the brilliance of crores of suns. They are surrounded by gardens of Kesar, Mallika, and Kund flower bearing plants. These groves are filled with celestial bumblebees intoxicated with the overpowering fragrance of the flowers. On all sides of the 4 mandaps are Mahapadmavatis, that is marigolds. They are filled with the nectar and the bumblebees are hovering over them. Graceful swans fill the lakes. The whole atmosphere is laden with fragrance. Within the first Shringar Mandap is a Singhasan, and seated on it is the Devi. The gods of entertainment and the Apsaras sing and dance for Bhagavati Jagadamba. In Mukti Mandap is seated the auspicious Bhagavati Shiva, who grants Mukti to all her Bhaktas. Rajan, the 3rd Mandap is called Jnana Mandap, and the Devi seated on this Singhasan gives Nirmal Vidya. In the 4th Mandap, called Ekant Mandap, Bhagavati Jagadamba sits with Anankusuma and other Shaktis and works out the preservation of the universe. Rajan, Chintamani Griha is the prime place of the Devi. Here presides Moola Prakriti Bhagavati Bhuvaneshwari with her 10 Shaktis. This is the most majestic throne. Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra and Ishwar form the 4 legs of this seat. Sadashiva is the Patash, that is canopy, and right on top is stationed Bhuvaneshwar. Before the creation, Bhuvaneshwar divided into 2. The right part became Bhagwan Bhuvaneshwar and the left part became Bhagavati Bhuvaneshwari. He is also called Sadashiva. This Maheshwar has the beauty of 1 crore Kamadevs. He has 5 faces and 3 eyes. He is decorated with Chintamani, and in his hands he holds the sun, Abhay and Varamudras and axe. This Mahadeveshwar, who rules over all, is ever youthful and looks 16 years old. He shines like a crore of suns and is Sheetal, that is cool, as a crore of moons. On his left side resides Bhagavati Bhuvaneshwari. She is wearing a waist ornament made of Navaratna, that is 9 gems. On her arms are bands made of beaten gold and Vaidurya Mani, that is lapis lazuli. Her earrings are in the form of Shri Chakra. On her forehead is set the 4-day-old moon. Her lips are redder than the bimba fruit and her teeth are like precious pearls. On her shining forehead sits a tilak of kumkum and kasturi, that is musk. On her head is a jewel-studded crown outshining the sun and the moon. Her nose ornament is the resplendent evening star, that is Shukratara. Strings of iridescent pearls form her necklaces. Fragrant paste of sandal, kapur, that is camphor, and kumkum has been applied to her divine body. A row of curls surrounds her lotus-like face, and the bumblebees are droning around her. The ripples of the Ganga get their beauty from her belly. Her fingers are bejeweled with rings. On her lotus face, she bears 3 eyes which shine with the luster of diamonds and rubies. She also wears gem-studded kangans, that is bracelets, and a waistband with tiny bells. A gleam of pearls and the dazzling brilliance of gems comes from her lotus feet. Her lotus feet are beautiful with toe rings. From her gem-encrusted bodice radiates light in all directions. The sweet perfume of Mallika that is jasmine, and the tingling of tiny bells from her decorated hair has attracted the bumblebees. She appears to be weighted down by her ornaments and her heavy breasts, and Bhagavati Shiva looks tired. In her 4 hands, she is holding Pash, Ankush, Abhay and Var Mudras. She is the embodiment of youth and beauty beyond description and unbounded compassion. Her own sweet voice has rendered the notes of the veena ineffective. She is constantly surrounded by attendants, handmaidens, wives of gods, and assemblies of gods. She is the one with Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, and Kriya Shakti. Lajja, Tushti, Pushti, Kirti, Kanti, Kshama, Daya, Buddhi, Medha have all assumed forms and are seated in her presence. Also in attendance are the 9 Peeth Shaktis, Jaya, Vijaya, Ajita, Aparajita, Nitya, Vilasini, Dogdhi, Aghora and Amangala. Also present are Shankanidhi and Padmanidhi. The rivers Navratnavaha, Kanchansrava and Saptadhatuva owe their source to these nidhis. All these rivers are flowing into Sudha Sindhu. This most powerful Bhagavati Bhuvaneshwari resides in the left side of Mahabhag Bhuvaneshwar. It is by this presence of hers that Bhuvaneshwar can manifest as Almighty. This is the absolute truth. Rajan, now hear about this Chintamani Griha. This vast bhavan is 1000 yojans wide and 1000 yojans long. On its northern side, there are many lofty prakars. This north prakar is double the size of the eastern prakar. This Manidweep of the Devi is not on the earth but in Antariksh Lok, that is, celestial region beyond atmosphere. It cannot be dissolved during Pralay Kal, that is dissolution of the universe, nor does it come into existence during the creation. But here also, there is constant contraction and expansion as in the evolutionary process. All the Paralokas that are in existence get their stimulus from Chintamani Griha. It is this grand and auspicious Bhavya Bhavan that is the residence of Bhagavati Mahamaya. Rajan, all the bhaktas of Shri Devi from all the Brahmans, that is universes and galaxies, Devalok, Nagalok and Manushyalok come to this place to worship her. Those who renounce even their lives in the worship of the Devi go to a place where Devi Mahotsava resides. There flow thousands of rivers of ghee, milk, curd, honey, nectar, grape juice, rose apple juice and mango juice. All varieties of fruit-bearing trees provide nectar-like fruits. In Manidweep, no one gets sick nor does old age touch them. That sacred place is devoid of worry, stress, anger, lust and greed. Everyone is youthful in the sacred state of marriage and glowing like 1,000 suns. Bhagavati Shri Bhuvaneshwari presides here and grants Samipya and Salokya, that is proximity and salvation. Many get Sarupya, that is likeness, and the chosen few get dissolved into divinity, that is Sashtata. Devatas from all Brahmans reside there in worship of the Devi Jagadishwari. 7 crores of Mahamantras take form and perform Aradhanas to the Devi. In Samyavastha, that is appearance, Devi Shiva is caused to manifest as Brahma Swarupa. All the Mahavidyas are present in her service. Rajan, I have given you the complete description of the resplendent Manidweep. Even a crore of suns and moons pales before the dazzling glory of Manidweep. Some parts are made of Markat Mani, gem, which is emerald. Some glitter like lightning, others are made of Indraneel Mani, one of the 9 celestial gems, which is sapphire, and some glow like molten gold. Other parts are studded with Chandrakanta Mani, that is moonstone, and Suryakanta Mani, which is jasper. The gardens are filled with trees bearing beautiful fragrant flowers. Peacocks dance and pigeons coo. The sweet notes of the cuckoo and the songs of the parrot are the sounds pervading the gardens. This place has countless lakes filled with gem-like lotuses which make the air sweetly fragrant. The entire sky is alight with the radiance of Manidweep, and sparks from myriad gems twinkle all over. Rajan, this is the destination of all beauty, ornamentation, decoration, knowledge, brilliance, good qualities, valor, bravery and compassion. All the joys from kingship to Brahmalok exist here. Just by putting attention on Manidweep, all sins get neutralized. At the time of death, if one remembers Manidweep, his soul reaches Manidweep. One who faithfully reads this description is protected from bhoots, prets and pishachas. For auspiciousness, when building a new house and during performance of puja of Vastudeva, this should be read. Srimad Devi Bhagavath. If you want to know who Adishakti is, read Devi Bhagavath, said by Her Holiness Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi. Jai Shri Mataji.